Hi everybody, this is Josh from Fix and Post, and today I'm going to show you my new Python script for exporting a video sequence directly from Premiere Pro into DaVinci Resolve. So the first thing that I'm going to do is run my script, and what this is going to do is open Media Encoder and add a new render to my queue, which will then take a few moments to render. I'll just delete my test trial here. And after a few seconds, my rendered sequence will appear. And as you can see, it's right here. So let's go over how this works and talk about some of the things you'll need to get this running. So the first thing that you'll need to do any of this is an export preset, and you can create one of those by hitting Control-M with your sequence selected, and you can change this to be any of the settings that you want. I'm pretty sure that you know how export settings work on Premiere. I'm assuming that. And what you want to do is create Save Preset, and it won't let you do that if you just have a standard generic system preset. So what I did here to outsmart that was I clicked Set Start Time Code, and then I unclicked it. And now I can save this as whatever I want. This will be saved to this file path, and as you can see, that's the one I just created, but this is the one that I'll be using for the test, so don't get confused. If we go over to my script now, you'll see that I'm using Pymere, which is a Python library that allows me to write Python code that can talk directly to the Premiere Pro API. And I'm using DaVinci Resolve's Python API, which I will also explain how you download that. In order to get Pymere, click my link. I downloaded it as a zip file. I think you can use it using pip. Either way, in order to get it to work, I had to write Python code to point to specific folders. I don't know if that's necessary for other people, if smarter Python users could do this in a more clean way, but I'm just going to explain how I set it up. So you look at stuff here, import system, that's just so I can add certain paths so that Python will let me import libraries. So I add the path to my Pymere master folder. I did it twice for some reason. So I say import Pymere, and then from Pymere import core, and from core import eval script. And eval script is the important thing because it's what's going to let me write code that it will let me write code that Premiere understands. So my path is the path to the export folder, which is where our rendered video will end up. So here I write eval script path to my EPR file, which is export preset. Some code here to get the active sequence and tell it to render that in Media Encoder and export it to our export folder and tell it to start. And then here I'm just getting the name of my sequence so I can name the file that. Actually, that's not true. I think over here I named the file that, yeah. So I don't know why I have this. I think I'll use it to look at this variable. I think I use it to look for it later. All this code is really boring, and it's just to manually check to see if the file is rendered. When you encode something or render it with Media Encoder, it will, let's say you have a video with video and sound. What Media Encoder will do is render it as a video file and then an audio file, and then very quickly combine them. So I needed to write code that checks to see if it is the finished video output. So that's all this is. I'm kind of just going to skip over this. It's very boring. here I import the Resolve library, which I will go into how to set that up in a little more detail at the end of this video, but suffice to say that you take the DaVinci Resolve script PY file, which is located in this file path if you have Resolve Studio installed, and you put it next to my Python file so that I can easily import it. So you import it, you set up some Resolve objects just so that you can eventually import the video that we rendered, which is labeled as myvid or ML0. Yeah, myvid. And this is the code that imports it. So in order to set up your DaVinci Resolve Studio environment, it's very easy. You just need to have Python 3.6 installed. If you have a later version of it, it will not be compatible. I know because I had 3.8 installed and it would not detect the Resolve API no matter what I did. So once you've installed Python 3.6 or earlier, I think you can do 2.7, yeah, you will go to environment variables, which you can just get from typing in path in here. And you go to environment variables. When you install Python, I think it has an option to install the path to your Python library. So if we go to edit this here, you'll see I have Python 3.6 and Python 3.6 scripts. I forget which one is there. I also have here, this is important, %, all caps, Python path, %. Is this in here? I mean, yeah, just copy all of these just to be safe. Program data, Blackmagic, DaVinci Resolve support, developer scripting, Python path, right. And then system variables, I have Python path defined here, which is this, and then Resolve script API modules. You can look in the handy dandy documentation for a bit better explanation of this, but you'll see the same names here. And this is just to link your Python program to the Resolve script API. Going back to this, Python path is defined. Show that again, just so you have it. Resolve script API is defined here. Resolve script lib is defined here. And so, yeah, that's how you set up your Python connection. And yeah, that's basically it. My code is a bit sloppy right now. I'll probably clean it up at some point, but I just wanted to get this out there. My next video might be something silly, like probably exporting a video from Resolve and directly importing it into Premiere. That could be fun. Maybe you have a situation where you're coloring a lot of footage and you want to be able to very easily export your color and then have it automatically replace proxy footage in Premiere. That's something that that script could be good for. This was just an idea really for fun. I wanted to see if I could do this, and shout out to the creators of Pymere for making this all possible. And if you guys have any other ideas for something that you could use this, or a workflow like this for, or any questions on how to set this all up, leave a comment, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. I know I take a long time to make these videos, but I'm going to try to make a lot more now. So, thanks again. This is Josh signing off.